Hello, friends and fans. It's Michael Pierce for a late night on Monday night. It's the Webinar Posse. I'm using Webinar Jam, which is a wonderful new hosting software for webinars, podcasts, and live adventures. We have unlimited seating capacity. We have some limit on the number of people that can get sponsored and get to speak at these events, but I know that we can set up for at least 10 or 12 people to take turns speaking, up to 6 at a time in a small group with the focus on the speaker. So this is really good news for when we record these things and save them to the group, and for anybody that wants to attend or not attend, or attend regularly but misses a meeting, they'll get a webinar broadcast sent right to their email as soon as the production is shut down and the YouTube video is cut and established. So if you want to find out how this works, get a hold of me or Agnes and we'll explain to you why the Webinar Posse is such a much better choice and a lot less expense than the GoToWebinars or some of the larger formats which have limits and caps on the number of people that can show up. So like the Webinar Posse and all the people I work with here behind the scenes, Webinar Jam is something new in the niche it works in, and it works very well for people that are just getting started in business because a small group of people can get together, have an account, and work out of the same account. So unlike GoToWebinars that wants $100 a month extra per every moderator, so if you want 2 people on the back end sorting things out so you have help and keep the meeting organized, you're going to have to pay double. Webinar Jam says no, if you're working together, you can use the hosting facility for anything you do as a group. So wow, good news for us. We don't both have to have our own webinar accounts, even though half the time we're at each other's meetings. So it really does make sense not to each have to have our own hosting facility, but to have one for the Web Posse as a group, so that any of these meetings, and that means even if we're doing meetings 7 days a week or in different time zones, we can use the same hosting package and have these rooms available and have recorded webinars sent out to everybody that will watch it. So that is a huge benefit to everybody that wants to participate and learn more. I'm also using this same software in the mornings. I'm doing a 10-minute podcast called Michael's Health Answers 90-Day Healthy Lifestyle Challenge. This isn't a diet and exercise talk, although I will talk about diet and exercise. It's really me sharing all the tips and information and all the steps that led me from 280 pounds in that picture and a total of 310 pounds at my biggest to the 185-pound healthy 49-year-old man you see sitting in front of you. I don't know how much you can see at the top of my head in this picture with this light, but I used to have a huge bald patch. So not only have I lost over 100 pounds, but I've kept and regrown some hair. So guys, a side effect is your hair might grow in. At the very least, you may stop losing the hair you were losing, because one of the benefits of having a healthy immune system is strong hair and nails. So I have really strong nails. I have to cut my nails once a week. That could be a problem for somebody, but wow, if that's the only problem you're going to have, it's a side effect from the things you're taking to get healthy. I don't think you got anything to complain about. So I'm going to go on to a health tip. Now, I always have a glass of fresh filtered water on hand, because it turns out we're made of 70–75% water. If you're talking about the brain and the heart tissue, the human body is a living organism made up of water. So if you consume unfiltered water and part of your intake, and you are aware that the powers that be, potable water means we've killed all the living organisms in it so you don't die from eating them. Well, the problem is whatever we use to kill the living organism may or may not still be in your water supply. So if you don't filter, at least with a Brita jug or in top of your water bottle, those simple Brita filters take out 97–98% of all the contaminants in your water and will very well save and change your life. You want to go all the way, you can go to bottled water, or you can buy an internal filtration system on your water supply, which is really the best bet, because you don't want to be breathing the fumes of the gassy cleaning substances like fluoride, chlorine, bromine. The things that might be in your water supply when they get vaporized in the shower are actually more harmful to your health than what you might drink. But that's a completely different topic for another day. But it'll bring you back to what brought me online, which is helping people like that become fit and healthy in their maturity. So I'm now middle-aged. Yeah, actually, I think it's probably the first time I've ever said it in public and I wasn't joking. But it's okay. I've come to the understanding that life does get better if you feed yourself. And I don't just mean with what you eat, but what you think is also vitally important. Part of the reason I've had these results is I've always had a positive attitude, look for the positive outcome, set realistic goals, and had realistic expectations about the outcome. I didn't set out to lose 50 pounds or 100 pounds in my first year, because I know that sort of weight gain or weight loss is dangerous and unhealthy. So I found a way that by consistently increasing the quality of my intake, eating steadily better and more better foods more often, I know that's not proper English, but it sort of makes sense. You are what you eat, you are what you drink, so filter your water, take clean, healthy, superfood, super concentrated supplements, because let's face it, the food you get in the grocery store isn't as good as the food that your parents bought when you were a child, and certainly is anywhere near as good as the food your grandparents had for your parents when they were kids. It's unbelievable, the degradation of the food supply. It's part of the reason I left cooking almost 14 years ago, was not only was it getting harder and harder to find people that wanted to work hard for $11 or $12 an hour, the restaurants could afford to pay people. Even in the 2000s, early 2000s, that wasn't enough money unless you were single and didn't have any bad habits. Yeah, it's a rough business. You almost couldn't afford to be healthy working as a cook. I always fed my staff because two reasons. First of all, if they were hungry, they weren't doing their best work. And second of all, if you didn't feed them, they would steal from you because you probably didn't pay them enough for them to eat 3 squares a day, let alone take good supplements or have health care or take care of themselves with a pension plan or any of those really, really important things. So yeah, it just gets easier. It makes more sense. I know I tend to ramble, but if you show up and pay attention, I guarantee you're going to learn something. I only share what really works, so I could save you a lot of time or effort if you chose to listen, to follow, to understand. I don't know it all. I would never tell anybody I know it all, but what I choose to share, I know and truly understand. Not only that, I can show you research to support the health claims that I make for the products I take. There's a book sitting on the shelf right over my shoulder here that you can see in blue, which actually is the medical patent book, which has copies of 11 different patents for 7 countries. So there's 77 method of use medical patents in that 3-inch binder that would show and prove to a doctor or a specialist what the proven medical benefits are from taking this product. So we actually have a product which is a whole raw food that when taken on a regular basis supports the optimization of the human immune system. So if you want to be healthier, stronger, faster, I recommend you take something that's raw and whole to support your immune health. Because let's face it, without a healthy immune system, we're all in a lot of trouble. So I'm going to get back to talking about communication and why the Webmaster Posse exists. It's not just for Michael to come in here and to talk about what he's good at, what he knows about, and what he does. It's actually a place for you, once you're a member of the group. At our Wednesday session, we always have a section with a weekly topic that rotates through where we talk about a topic, somebody shares an educational piece, then everybody goes around to the group and applies it to their business situation. So the first topic we had was what I do. So we explained the best way to share that with your audience and people, and then everybody present in the group got 3 minutes and we went around and listened to each other. This was good for 2 reasons, because first of all, we're all wanting to grow our audience. So at every meeting you get to speak at, you're speaking in front of new people that may or may not already know you. And if they already know you, they may not know everything about what you do, and they may want to learn what you're doing and why you're doing it. Because once they know and like you, they may realize that you have something valuable for them and want to come to you, be attracted to you to solve their problem. But if you don't show up, you don't let them know what you're doing, you're not getting better at communicating these things, which is the second reason for the roundtable format. We're here to work on our communication skills. If you speak better, clearly from the heart, not from your mind. One of my coaches said there's 3 places you can talk to your audience. One is from your head, and that comes off scripted and read, and everybody knows that, and they can figure it out, and they turn you off in like 5 minutes. It becomes boring after 10 minutes, even if you're interested in the topic, if the person's just talking about themselves and what they do. That's all coming from the head. And the second place is the heart. And I tend to talk from here a lot. I just put away the script, have some idea what I want to say, and I just ramble along getting my message out. Because when you speak from the heart, people know you're speaking your truth, and if it resonates with them, it might work for them. And if it works for them, they're going to have the same result you did, and on it just gets better. So if you're comfortable and if this feels good, I might be the person that has some answers for you. Or who knows, you might have some answers for me. But if you show up at the posse meeting and tell me what you do and why you're passionate about it, I might know what you do when I need your product or service or need the benefit of your professional skills. This meeting's open to anybody in business, on or offline. We prefer to work with people that are already online because there's some process involved with getting on and off the meetings and making yourself available to the public in this form. But even if you're not, please get a hold of us. We're available just to watch on YouTube now with this webinar jam format. These things can be watched on your phone at YouTube while you're on work with headphones. You can save them to your YouTube channel, watch them when it fits for your schedule. So you can take these lessons away. You can go over the important pieces. You can skip through the extra stuff like the fast forward button on the movie for stuff that doesn't really apply to you or isn't of interest. Does that make sense? So I'm going to go and check on some things. Got to put some glasses on because, let's face it, as we age, we all need help. So my co-host, Laurie, has not showed up. I haven't heard from her in 3 hours, although we discussed yesterday that we were going to have a meeting at 8 o'clock tonight. She said no reason why she wouldn't be here. But that's okay. As part of a team, I knew that somebody would show up, and I'm sure there's somebody out there on my Google Hangout feed that has caught their attention and they're listening. I have nobody in the chat box right now. That's good. I could talk for hours. One of the reasons I'm attracted to this sort of webinar and form is it turns out I enjoy speaking. I enjoy the sound of my own voice. It's universally true about people, which is one of the reasons I knew the communication form would be attractive to others. What is in it for you? Well, you get to come to a meeting. You're going to be in a group with 6, 8, 10, 12 other business people. You're each going to get an equal share of the hour time. After you get the directions, instructions, or training, you'll be able to go around a group and utilize these things or share about what they meant to you or add your 2 cents or 3 bits. Collectively, from the mastermind, we will work on our communication and interpersonal skills so we can better, more clearly communicate what we are, what makes us special, why we're passionate about what we do, and how it can help other people. Because that's really what it's all about. At the end of the day, for me at least, it's not about how much money I make. It's more what sort of impact I have on other people in their lives. If you need to become healthier, boost your immune system, take care of your long-term health, I'm your guy. Now, if you're an athlete or, really good shape, you're not carrying around an extra 10, 20 pounds, you don't have any health challenges, you're physically active, you're energetic, you are happily able to get down on the floor with your children and grandchildren and play. You can go outside, jog, catch the ball, run around. When it's time to wash the car, you're not tired by the time it's done because you're old and worn out. And this isn't for you. No. If you want to communicate with people, if you want to learn about natural health, if you want to get involved with other people, helping other people, we have 8, 9 paid members right now, and more interested. Some people still doing the free checkout thing. If you get a hold of me, I can make sure that you get a guest pass to at least 2 meetings before we ask you to pay the $25 a month group membership. Yeah, $25 a month. Really, it's not a lot of money, and it's not about the money, but there are some expenses. This webinar jam package costs Agnes and I some money, so there'll be a little bit of fee if you want to keep attending the Wednesday meetings and participating in the group forum and all the live training and getting the benefit to your business. Vice versa, if you have a business or a service product or support products that complement online home-based businesses, any sort of marketing stuff, I would love to hear from you. We're always looking for guest speakers that want to come and speak for 10 or 15 minutes in front of the group and then spend another 10, 15 minutes answering questions. In the half-an-hour format, there's a spot that could be allocated half an hour for total interaction. You get to share what you do and how it works. And then the group members will ask you questions so they can better understand what you do and how it works. So twofold, you're going to get to present what you offer to our group in a private little session with 8, 10, 12 other people. And then they're going to ask questions about what it is, how it works, and why they might want to use it, which in process will give more information to everybody that's participating, because usually I find where I really learn is in the answers to other people's questions, not in the presentation. So I really value this, and I give each part of the session is broken down in half always. So in the other format, when we have a group speaker, guest speaker that will come in and speak for half an hour straight, the other half of the meeting is taken up by who we are and what we do, where the 10 or 12 people in the group are each given 2.5 or 3 minutes, and they get to go around and to share clearly their elevator speech or whatever they feel comfortable with, wherever they are in the communication skills. And then the group can give them feedback as to what they like, dislike, what made sense or not. And collectively, through this feedback from each person getting to share, we'll all get better at what we can communicate. Quite often, just one question from one group member can take you down a different path and open up a whole new way or a whole new avenue or a new group of people that you could all of a sudden be exposed to just because you changed a word or two in your presentation, and now that resonates or hits a chord with a new group of people that hadn't been responsive to you before because you weren't using the words or phrasing things in a way they understood. And somebody in the group said, "Hey, I'm a little bit confused. Can you just stop for a second and explain what?" "Oh, okay, well, if you said it this way," and then other people chime in, and from 2 or 3 responses, all of a sudden you get a better picture of why people aren't getting what your message is, and bang, things get easier because now you understand what the block was. So in the roundtable meetings, we have the third option, or the third section, which can float around in these bits and pieces, is a roundtable mastermind format, where one person brings a question, spend 5 or 10 minutes explaining where they are in their business, what they're stuck on, what they're hung up on, the piece of their funnel, their marketing, whatever it is they're working on. If they're working on their who I am, what I do speech, we'll listen to it. We'll give them a critique. We'll go around the circle in the mastermind, and each person will get 2 minutes to speak about what you said, and they'll get a minute to rebut them. And then we'll move on to the next person. They'll spend a minute or two expressing what they took away from what you said. You have a chance to rebut them. And in the back and forth and in the intercommunication with the 8, 10, 12 other people at the table, you're going to get a huge amount of feedback. And not only that, the feedback is going to be tailored to exactly what you're working on at this stage in your business, because that's what you brought before the group. So this benefit is first come, first serve. Every time we get a paid member, I will contact them and ask them when, on Wednesday, they're willing to sit in the hot seat in our roundtable mastermind and get their business question answered. It probably won't be the first week after you join, because it's on a first come, first serve basis. But when you join, I will get on my calendar and we will book you for your hot seat, so you know when you have to have your question organized so you can bring it to the group and get your answers. Now, this is just a free benefit about being a Posse member, but as I've said, if you've read into my posts or been to my group Facebook page, membership has its privileges. Another one of the privileges is going to be I'll be collecting the contact information from all the group members, Facebook, websites, group affiliations, products and services they represent. We'll be keeping a database of this so members can search the group database when they want products or services, or they need products or services, or they need skills or other stuff done by members of the group. And together, it all gets easier, because when you know who's doing the work and they do some work for you now and do some work for you 3 weeks from now, and you refer them to a friend and it comes back to you, all our businesses grow. We all get better. And if you're the people that are helping you work on your business are also the people giving you advice, it all sort of fits. Because let's face it, who better than the people you're working with to help you sort out what you're working on? It sort of makes sense. And it's sort of like the network marketing company thing, where you get 8, 10, 12 people in your downline, and then your business becomes successful because you brought all the group of people to the table. Well, that didn't work out just that way for me, and I needed a broader group of people, a broader group of skill basis. So I've come up with this skills communications meeting format where other people can come and contribute what they have of value to the group, and together we all become better master communicators. We speak clearly to our audiences. We share what makes us tick and why it works. And through communicating clearly, we all move forward in our business. It's like being part of the Rat Pack, where each person has a skill set. Nobody does exactly the same thing as anybody else, but together as a group, and they go out and perform and work, they can accomplish miracles and do amazing things because of the multitude of talent and the varied skill sets present in the group dynamic. So yeah, thank you for showing up. Thank you for improving your communication skills. I know that if you come to our meetings on Wednesday at noon Pacific, that you're going to meet some really cool business people. We have some guest speakers lined up. The legendary Ann Sieg got a hold of me the first week of January and said that she would love to come and give 10 minutes of basic education on how tracks and marketing works to my audience, and then answer questions from that small group. So it's nice to know that one of the first people that trained me online is willing to take time from her huge, busy, successful schedule. She's got the Daily Marketing Coach training platform. She was one of the top earners at DSD Domination last year in that new platform of affiliate marketers. It has been wonderful starting and learning from Ann Sieg's camp. And now that I'm out on my own, doing my own thing, for the mentor that started me in this space to come along and say, yeah, I like your idea. I'll show up at one of your meetings. I'll help train your people. I'll educate them about why they want to look at DMC that trained you, and that will help you because you're my affiliate there. So we'll refer them through your affiliate code back to Daily Marketing Coach, and if they have a need to build their own website, or at least know how websites are built and designed so that they can get good technical help, because quite often if you don't know what you're asking for, the technical person can't help you. So one of the benefits of taking the Daily Marketing Coach training that I had experienced is they have huge web-based tutorials available on the training platform that teach you step by step every single thing you need to know, from picking a domain name to getting it hosted to setting up hosting that you pay for, that you control, that you own. So you can start U Inc. I think exercise 4, exercise 5 was starting U Inc. And really, that's where Michael's Health Answers got started. It was in the basic training and the laying things out. And I'll tell you, if you don't have a pattern or a system that you can duplicate and repeat, you're probably not going to have the success that other people have had. So I'm not out here to reinvent the wheel. And a lot of what we're going to do at these meetings comes from the Toastmasters International group, or at least the ideas I received and was trained at Toastmasters. Now, this is not a Toastmasters meeting. I'm in no way affiliated with Toastmasters. That's why we called it Webmasters Posse. It's completely different, but some of the ideas are present. We're going to have a grammarian, or actually we call it a grammar Nazi after a friend of mine, because that's her nickname. The editor of Michael's Health Answer, Agnes Knowles, and my friend Robin Defoe, who got me on these healthy food products sitting behind me. They are grammar Nazis. They're going to be at meetings. They're going to be listening for the good and bad uses of the English language. They're going to be calling people when they depreciate themselves or say negative things or things that might be confusing to their audience. And through this critique and through this collection of the little bits and pieces of our communication puzzle, when you're called on it, you have a chance to address it, assess it, and change it if it doesn't work for you. If you don't know what you're doing wrong or why it doesn't make sense, you can't fix it, can you? So you can't just focus on the good, you have to focus on the bad, because we're both sides. We're equally both. So if this makes sense, and you want to learn from me, first of all, about how to host a meeting online, or how to restore your whole health naturally with raw food, that's my passion. But I can't just talk about that every day, all day. That would get pretty boring. Nobody wants to listen to the same thing over and over and over again. So on that note, I'm going to call it a night here. We're 25 minutes after the hour, and I haven't had any questions. Nobody's put up their hand. Nobody else has asked to speak tonight. Monday night, we have a lot lower attendance. Quite often, we only get 2 or 3 people out. We have a very small group. These are more the organizers and the people behind what you see as the web posse on Wednesday. There is some discussion now about starting an early morning Saturday class at maybe 10 o'clock Pacific or 9 o'clock Pacific, since I'm already up from, I'm home at before 8 a.m. every morning locally. We will get it together. We'll let you know. If you like this webinar jam format, or you think that this might be a better alternative for you and your business, get a hold of me. let me know that you're interested. I'll hook you up and we'll get you started, and you can host your own meetings online. So it's Michael Pierce, the Healthy Guru. I'm with the Webmasters Posse. This is late night, Monday night, and I'm signing off and saying have a great week. We'll see you on Wednesday at noon Pacific for the Ancient Wisdom Wednesday weekly session. So thank you, take care, and good night.